What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode, or I guess episode 5 in this case, for the dub anyway, of Dragon Ball Daima, man. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We finally reached the castle of the third demon realm, man. And yeah. Got our first glimpse of Super Saiyan for Goku in his, like, I guess, kid form, Daima form, whatever you want to call it, for like a split second, which I thought was kind of weird that Goku would like kind of go into Super Saiyan then go right back to base form. But he had like this glow on, like this yellow glow around him, like right afterward, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if this is meant to be like a new half Super Saiyan 4 where he like gets a slight power boost that's better than Kaioken but not as good as Super Saiyan. I don't know, or maybe they just thought maybe the people at Toei just thought it looked cool. I don't know, but either way, man, this was still a fun episode, man. And yeah, without further ado, guys, let's just jump right in. So we started the episode off right where we left off last week with the reveal, with the reveal of the girl of the mass warrior that we saw in the previous episode is of course the girl, Ponzi, if I pronounce it right. Which I don't know if we actually got her name in this episode. I can't remember if she actually ever did say her name. I could be wrong about one, and I'm just misremembering, but now I'm starting to remember, wondering if we actually got it. But anyway, as you guys know, I mentioned in my review for the previous episode, I mentioned how, like, you know, we still didn't know who voiced the dub, no post of it had come out. Well, funny enough, like, literally, I think it was like either right after I finally uploaded the video, or it might have been like the day after, I did see the announcement post from the voice actress claim that she is the voice of Hanzi. Veronica Lauzik, I'm probably not mispronouncing her last name. But yeah, she is the voice of Parents, if you guys didn't already know. But yeah, one thing I will say I like about Daima is how they've gone a lot of like either younger, inexperienced, or more unknown voice actors to play these characters rather than, you know, going through, you know, just going through the typical Funimation talent pool. Or at least using a lot of already pre-established pre-established voice actors and going for a lot of the underground people that are like new to the business, haven't really gotten that many huge roles, are still on the come up, man. I kind of love that Daima has a bunch of new faces in it for the voice cast, man, to like give them a showcase, which I think is nice. I think that's kind of cool. But anyway, she's talking with Goku and the other ones. Eventually, Gloria tells them, well, come on, we gotta get going. Let's move. And so she kind of like, and so she still keeps on following them, and she asks them where they're going, and he tells her that they're going to the palace, and Gloria's like, and Goku tries to save it, but he's not, but he's done a horrible job. The Supreme Cut comes like, oh, we should really be hurrying, but that doesn't work either, and eventually she just starts following them anyway, No. Okay, well, I was thinking the scene where Gloria tells her no more questions happens later on in the episode. But yeah, so they continue on walking. She ends up following them, to help on their journey. But Gloria tells her to fuck off, and you know, but she ends up still following anyway. And she also mentions that she already knows the way back to the castle. The first instance where it's kind of like hinted to or foreshadowed that she's obviously the princess of the king of the third demon realm, which also kind of makes me wonder now that, you know, in retrospect, going back on this episode, it does kind of make me wonder why she didn't just say that at the start that she was the princess, why she kind of held that information on that, but whatever the case may be. But anyway, they continue on their march, and eventually we head back over to like to the group of like soldiers that we saw earlier in the previous that Goku beat the shit out of with relative ease. One like, oh, we need to find Goku. You need to track his call. He's like, bro, it was, and one of the guys tells him that it was that went by so quickly that he didn't have a chance to, you know, check or give him the collar. So then he was like, no wars. We were going to take out the kid with the impossible hair and the red stick. I love that he said the impossible haircut, because let's be real, Goku's hair is impossible. Like, hair does not form like that at all. Like, so I thought that was a nice little nod there, because obviously we've all made the jokes about Goku's hair, just anime hair in general, being like impossible, like Goku, Yugi, and of course Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm sure there's a ton of other anime characters that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! protagonists have ridiculous hair, to be fair. A lot of them do. I think Jaden is like the only one with like actual like normal hair. At least from like the main series. The good ones anyway. I'm pretty sure he's like the only one with a normal haircut. But yeah, I thought that was a nice little funny nod there. So as they continue on their journey, Goku of course complains about being hungry because this dude is never not hungry. Ponzi if I'm even pronouncing her name right, eventually offers her this wretch she had in her bag and gives it to Goku. Then we see that Glory, he is just absolutely done with this man. He's just like, ugh. He is done with this, man. He wants to get rid of these kids as soon as possible. So as they continue on talking, Supreme Kai asks for her name, which is Pansy. I went back and checked to make sure if we actually saw her name or not, and yeah, we did. I've been mispronouncing it. Pansy, and of course she asks, well, Goku's name, and he says Goku, and she starts laughing and snickering, like, huh, Goku says that her name is weird, and then she tells, asking what his name is, he says Goku, and then she starts snickering and laughing, like, you're not one to be talking smack about people's name. Goku is also a weird name, which I don't think it is, me personally, but hey, they are from the demon world, to be fair. And of course, he tells that he also goes by another name as well, Kakarot, which he also disses as well. Which, honestly, you ask me, those are both badass names. If you like, especially Kakarot, man. I like the Saiyan names, Kakarot, badass name. But that's just me personally. Anyway, after that, so then she starts asking him if he can do magic, and Goku doesn't know what if he can. But he like does this thing where he can like lick his nose. Basically, like, stretch his tongue out to, like, lick his nose or whatever, but, yeah. But I don't know why he didn't just show her some ki. I don't know if the demon world even has a concept of ki. I mean, I'm pretty sure Majin Buu did fire, like, some ki blast in DBZ Kai, or not DBZ Kai, DBZ as well as Kai the Final chapters and just Dragon Ball in general. I think so. Well, yeah, maybe he could do magic. He did definitely have magic because he can turn people into, like, cookies and whatnot, but I don't know if he actually could sense or, use ki. I could be wrong on that one. I'm misremembering because I said haven't watched Boo arc in many, many years. But, yeah. So he doesn't try that, but she does some magic where she, like, levitates a rock. So as they continue on, she asks him about the Supreme Kai. He says his name is Shin. I don't know if he made that up or that's, like, legit the Supreme Kai's name. If anyone can fact check that and remind me in the comments, please do so. But yeah, apparently the Supreme Kai's actual name is Shin. Apparently. Anyway, so then she starts asking more questions about why they're here. Supreme Kai says their journey, and she's like, oh, so you're just here for fun? Nobody comes at their demon unless you have to have... And then we get this really nice close-up, this like really nice zooming close-up shot on Glory telling him, no more questions, if you want a conversation, go somewhere else. Really like that part. That might have been the animation highlight of the episode, not gonna lie. I really like that camera move they did right there for that. Anyway, as they continue on their journey, they eventually reach this pass where they have like this path where one of them, or a fork in the road, whatever it's called. One path goes that way, the other one is a bunch of like rocks. And Pansy goes up the rock path because apparently you can cut through it and it's like a shortcut over to the castle, which they end up all going. And the Supreme Kai goes on about about it's wrong about the Demon King's men, taking people's lives away, etc., etc., etc. And she mentions how apparently the demon only goes that's a lot of life, especially considering they only live for 1,000 years, which, when you really think about it, and Goku mentions this as well, that's still a long time. 9-10 years, like at 9 years, it still gives you plenty of time to grow when you can live to it. Like, it's a decent chunk, I would say, but like, it wouldn't be as bad if it was like a human. Then it's like, yeah, GG. If this is like a human losing 9 years, but for a demon that can live to 1,000, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Anyway, they continue on going. We find out that Pansy is actually like 82 years old or something along those lines. But she's very old, which of course everyone is flabbergasted by this dude because she still looks like a kid. I guess in the demon world as well as the Soul Society, people age the same way where they're like thousands of years old, but like I guess their growth is like slowing when they're kids and then sustains itself when they're adults for like thousands of years or whatever. So yeah, I guess they just age like souls in the Soul Society. Anyway, that's when we finally reach the castle. The background, I will say right here, this shot when we actually see them in the background of the distant man, or the castle of the distant man, the background of the man looked really good. I like the background here of the castle. And Goku mentions how it looks kind of dirt, and it kind of looks kind of janky and trash, and like janky, but he's like, Jesus, don't be rude, it's nice for third demon world standards. And so they continue on, we head over to, I'm assuming it's the first demon world where Gomon resides, I assume. And we have this woman like reading like nursery rhymes or whatever to baby Dende. And she's doing this in this calm, nice, soothing voice. Dende is very locked in, and his eyes are focused, man. He is enjoying the tale. But then King Gomon comes in there, busting in, guns blazing, telling her to put some feeling into her reeds, that these flat reeds will stunt his growth, even though that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And like, I'm fairly certain for when you are trying to get a baby to stay asleep or soothe it, it's better to do a calm, motherly kind of voice like she's doing, rather than going at it like you're arid, ranting and raving as you're about to be eaten by titans. You know what I mean? Like, y'all remember that season 1 where Aaron was popping up about not being ingested by titans right before he became a titan shifter? Unless I'm misremembering, I'm thinking another scene entirely, but you guys get my point. So then she starts to do this whole over dramatic, like, will you spare 1, 2, 100 of your rice balls or whatever the fuck it was. But I will say, the shots here, man, look really good. I really like the lighting here, man. I like the backgrounds here, man. The key animation here in the drawings of color right here, man, looked really good, I must say. Anyway, they finally reach the gated castle. Gloria tells the chick to fuck off. Once again, she sticks around. Gloria tells her that they're not going to let her through. So the two guards like, hey, bro, hey, pretty boy, what the fuck you doing here, bro? And then he reminds him that he was here yesterday, and then he was like, oh yeah, right, I forgot, you were something, oh yeah, right, you were here. And then they ask about the Rugrats he's with, and this is when Pansy comes out, and it's revealed that she is actually the princess of the third demon world, man. She is the king's daughter. Of course, everyone is shocked by this revelation. She goes on about how they call this the Mafia Castle because they even with Vince Boone, which is what Gloria called the castle a little bit earlier on in the episode, man, before they finally make their way inside. Now, I gotta ask this, did anyone else think that the sound effect they were using while Pansy was going up the stairs was really weird, man? Like, I don't know, that sound did not mesh well, man. It just sounded weird. I did not like the sound they picked when she's going up these stairs. That could just be me. I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but I was not a fan of the sound they were using for the staircase, man. But yeah, definitely in the comments below if you guys thought the sound effect they used for this was kind of weird. You liked the sound or you thought it fit. Anyway, so we didn't see the inside of the third Demon World Castle, man. We see some of the workers training. We see some people like gardening. Some of them are cooking. Before she finally starts knocking on the door to the king's room, where she's finally let in there, and then we see the third Demon World's king caked in shadows, man. Honestly, this might have been like the animation highlight of the episode, man. I really like the lighting here, where he's cloaked in shadows and everything, man. It looked really fucking good. He's doing like some golf. Seemingly, he's like playing like golf with this fucking spiked mace or whatever, man. Now they're in the throne room, and eventually the king falls up, and then she reunites with her dad, and then of course they tell him that he's first shocked that Gloria brought back kids, but they tell him that that Goku is the one they really want, that he defeated Majin Buu, etc., 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 etc. Now we find out from the intro, for up to this point in the series, Gloria's mentioned that the king sent him off to go over there and fetch warriors to defeat King Goma, when in fact it was actually Gloria that came to the king of the third demon world, saying that he'll bring back fighters to take out King Goma, to defeat King Goma. But if I was interested that he would flip the story like that, man, maybe we'll find out in future episodes what's Glorio's deal. But anyway, so like I said, they're shot their own kids, but then he eventually explains it, or rather, because Goku managed to save Pansy, that he would in his token of his gratitude or whatever, he would offer her hand in marriage to him, and she's freaking out my hand isn't yours to give away, take that back. And then of course Goku tells her that he's married with 2 kids and he can't take her up. They're both absolutely flabbergasted by this revelation, and then she at first thought that they were full-grown adults, but Saiyans are forever stuck as kids. Then the Supreme Kai comes here and tells them that they are fully grown adults, but King Goma came to our world with Dragon Balls and turned them back into kids. So then he was so that's when it's alright, now it all makes sense. And so this is when Goku tells him that he wants to defeat the Guardians to grab the Dragon. Of course, the third Demon World King is shocked, and he doesn't think this cockamamie scheme will work. But then as he works, maybe if this is, and he wonders that Goku was truly one, which we also know, but he doesn't. That was able to defeat Majin Buu, that there's a chance he could actually beat these Guardians and fetch the Demon World's Dragon Balls. So then he tells hey Goku, I'm sure you can understand that I can't just take your word on that. Would you mind giving us a demonstration? He pronounced it demonstration rather than a demonstration, which I thought was interesting. I know that was done on purpose because Demon World demonstration, but that's something I noticed. Anyway, they get over to this training area where all the guards are there. They tell him that Goku is the strongest fighter in the world, and that they're going to throw down. But they tell him not to get too hard on because they want to still be alive. So ditch your weapons. But he tells them to keep their weapons. It's better for trade, but just tell them not use guns. Now, interesting thing about this is that Goku gives Supreme Kai the power pole right before he jumps right down. Now, did anyone else think that he was gonna go straight into Super Saiyan and then just like and then layeth the smacketh down on these guys, man? But no, he stays in base form for this whole thing, and then like when he starts getting like really like crowded and piled on, that's when he finally goes Super Saiyan for a little bit to get everyone off for everyone to get off. Which the effects work on this I looked really good. I really like the animation for the Super Saiyan transformation. And like I said, he has this yellow glow around him for the rest of the fight. And then it looks like this is also where he gains all his strength and power back because he's now teleporting everywhere, man, taking out guys with a single like finger flick thing going on, man. I like I mentioned at the start of the video, I'm curious if this is meant to be like another like mid form that's like stronger than Kaioken, but not as strong as Super Saiyan or something, man. So yeah, but either way, it looks like either A, if Goku finally got used to the Demon World after and now has all his movement back, or maybe they're out of that area, or this is like a mid transformation or this is like a mini power up so that he can go back to full strength and fight like he usually does on Earth. So, but yeah, like I said, he makes quick work of it when the last guy just surrenders to Goku, and then we cut over to when they finally find the plane, which Glory asked them they had a plane that he can borrow, and they do. It's a small one, but it'll work. And then this episode actually answers a question that I had that I'm pretty sure I mentioned in my review for the second episode. As you guys remember in the second episode, that's when we saw Sir Warp and then Glory and Supreme Guy tries to get to Kibito, tries to contact Kibito about the pin code, but doesn't get a chance right before they go into Sir Warp. And I mentioned in my review of that episode that I thought that would that even work, and if he was able to send pin code, would that even work? Would they still be let in, or is it tied to Glorio, and only Glorio can use his pin code? And if Kibito tried to use it, he wouldn't go in. This episode answered it and saying that yes, they would not get in even if the Supreme Kai had enough time to send over to like instant transmission or whatever the fuck he was doing, communicate to Kibito the pin code, it still would not work because it is tied to Glorio's ship, or excuse me, his plane. Excuse me. It is tied to his plane. And even if Glorio took this new ship with this pin code, he still wouldn't be able to get in. Stormwood would have told him to fuck off. So what they're doing is they're actually tinkering with this plane so that to mess with the data a little bit, so that he can go in and out of the demon world with his same pin code, but with this ship instead. So yeah. The episode the Amy did answer the question, which you guys remember, because I was wondering, which I was kind of surprised they did, because I didn't think they would really mention that again. They would be like, oh, whatever. But I'm glad they actually did it. Like, they did explain that, like, that even if Kibito got the code, he still couldn't use it. But anyway, whatever the case may be, he tries, or rather, actually, we found that, I forgot to mention this earlier, but we found they're loading the place that's like a thank you, as like a thank you to Goku or whatever. They're like loading the plane, or rather, because the plane was kind of shit, that was the only one they could spare, they're like loading it with food, water. I swear to God, he says booze. I could have misheard him, but I swear to God, he said booze, sleeping bags, and all that basically says they were going to need across their travel. And then the Supreme Kai asked him, like, if there's any way he can help out Kibito and Bulma get into the Demon World because they don't have a pin code. At first, he's like, nothing I could do about that, but then he finds this one guy just chilling, hopping around, and tells him to bring him in there, or to come here, to come to them. So anyway, he comes in there, and then the king tells them that they need to pick up some guests from the outside world, and to bring him over here into the Demon World. So then he pulls out his own radar, Dragon Radar. Yeah, apparently they got Dragon Radars in the Demon World, in the Demon World, well, at least ones that look similar to that, which looks like this one's more of a map. But anyway, he tells them it's on Earth in Universe 7. He finds it, which lands right directly on Kami's lookout, and tells them they're going to need, like, I believe it was like 4 passengers total is what the Supreme Kai said. And he says he's going to need a medium-sized plane for that, but all they got small planes. So then the art style changes for a bit as he calls up 3 of his goons to, like, sneak into, like, some gang hideout and, like, snatch one of their medium-sized planes, and they leave, and then we go back to the normal art style, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, and also the dude was complaining about because he wanted to get his hair cut, but he's like, the king says like, this is urgent, your hair can wait, and he only has like this little bit of hair, unless like all of this is unless the entire top part is his hair. I'm not entirely sure. I can't really tell. But whatever the case may be, he tells them that it's going to take a while for them to come back, and he said, like, oh, they won't have any trouble, catching up with us. He's catching up with them. So they go off there, and while they start loading up on the plane again, and this is when the Supreme Kai tells him that Gloria, who now he called, like, I'm pretty sure he straight up called him Guerrero. One point, like, later on in this part of the episode, he just calls him Guerrero. Shout out to Eddie, I guess. But anyway, this is when Sabrina tells Gloria that's been lying the entire time and kind of questioning what's going on with him. I'm definitely kind of wondering that as well, if we're going to learn any more about what's Glorio's true deal and why he lied about that and what's the details. But whatever the case may be, they're on their way as they fly around, and the plane instantly starts to crash. It's like that center the Lakers trying to trade for with the Hornets. Y'all saw that shit? They got the center from Hornets. I don't really keep up with basketball, so I don't really know this game. And then we found that he failed his physical test, and he's injured actually. That's fucking insane, man. That's actually insane. But anyway, guys, as the plane comes crashing down, that's when the episode ends. A great episode, man. A really great episode, man. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode, man. And yeah, I wonder if next week's when we're finally going to see Vegeta and Piccolo and the others finally come over to the Demon Realm, or maybe that'll be sometime, in the next few episodes. Whatever the case may be, man. Overall, this episode 8 out of 10, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me until you feel like it. Link subscribe below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.